Greetings, nerdlings, and welcome to AmalgamNation Presents World of Lorecraft, Racecraft, Arakkoa Edition. Now, before we actually get started on the actual lore of the Arakkoa race, I just want to say, I know it's been over a week since you guys heard from me, that unboxing over a week ago, I believe it was a week ago, Sunday just gone. So yeah, I'm sorry about that, but my system suffered a catastrophic failure. Components died left, right and centre, and I've had to rebuild it. It's now up and running, more powerful than ever before, smoother than it was before. I just hope that this motherboard is up to the job, because the other one, the new one that I reviewed, died. So don't buy it. I'm sorry I said it was good. It's shite. So don't get that motherboard. Now, on with the show. The Arakkoa are an ancient race of bird-like humanoids native to Draenor. They have brightly feathered bodies in a veritable rainbow of colours, hooked beaks, clawed hands, taloned feet, and an erectile crest of feathers on their heads. They wear ragged cloaks about their bodies. Arakkoa appear to also have sage with ornate shoulder and head ornaments, and warrior with metal helm and male epaulets classes. Hazek mentions they have a caste system. They have great magical power over the arcane and are also as smart as any gnome you ever met, according to Gremny Longbeard in the Hellfire Peninsula. Most are aggressive to both Alliance and Horde, although there are friendly members of the Arakkoa to be found. Arakkoa breed a species of owl called Kaliri, which have valuable feathers. They also use several types of ravens and owls as guards. Arakkoa history. There is evidence of the Arakkoa existing for many years before known life in Draenor, the proof being ancient long-forgotten relics left behind by the Apexis long ago. Most non-Arakkoa only know the stories of a hero named Terok, told by exiles to the adventurers who travel from the world of Azeroth. Terok is said to have built the city of Sketis with his own claws and ruled as one of its most powerful kings for centuries before he disappeared without a trace, leaving behind his relics, his spear, his mask and his writings. During his reign, members of the lowest caste of the Arakkoa people were sacrificed by his talent priests to the dark powers they worshipped. Even today his minions work in his name to commit evils throughout Terok Forest. At Vale Shinor and Vale Resk, the Eyes of Sketis allow Terok to spy on those areas. At Vale Skit, the Arakkoa used the Darkstone of Terok as an altar of worship. At Vale Raz, or Raze, Terok raises the spirits of the dead Arakkoa killed by the Auchendoun explosion. At Vale Lithic, his minions corrupt the avians into his service. At Vale Shalas, the closest colony to Sketis, the Arakkoa sages conduct wars against the light. When Terok disappeared, the Talon priests began actively seeking to return him to their world. The Arakkoa continued a nomadic existence on Draenor for thousands of years, though they suffered terribly during the Horde's first wars across Draenor. The resulting grudge against the Orc race encouraged an Arakkoa, Grizik, to serve as a tracker and guide for Danath Trollbane's forces during the Alliance's expedition to Draenor. This Arakkoa, seemingly alone, led Trollbane's soldiers to Auchendoun and aided in the battle. Recently, however, some Arakkoa have broken away from Sketis, some to free themselves from Terok's evil and others merely deluded by power. The Sketis exiles, taken in by the narrow Adal, reside in the lower city of Shattrath, where they battle against Terok's forces. The Setic are also breakaways from Sketis, but for a different reason. When Auchendoun exploded, an Arakkoa named Ikis believed that this was the second coming of the mysterious master of the Arakkoa, and with a group of followers set out for Auchendoun, where they set up in what became known as the Setic Halls. Ikis believes himself Terok reborn and believes he and his followers are the true followers of their master and true leaders of the Arakkoa. But deep inside Sketis, the Arakkoa continue their battles against all who oppose them. The Shatari Skyguard, a group of Shatari flyers, have a base at Blackwind Landing, just outside of the Blackwind Valley where Sketis is located. On an island in the middle of Blackwind Lake, Terok awaits the proper alignment of the stars to herald his return. The Arakkoa in the Warlords of Draenor expansion pack. The winged Arakkoa are the proud descendants of the once grand Apexis civilization, a glorious empire of the sun that ruled vast territories alongside the Ogre Empire centuries ago. While many of the great works of their forebears remain a mystery, the Arakkoa of this era proud, hateful and defiant, have mastered their own distinct magical arts to channel and control the power of Draenor's sun. Although they've been reduced to a shade of their former power and driven high to the peaks of Arak, the Arakkoa still look down on the ground dwellers below. Approach winged Arakkoa with caution, as they are known to attack ground dwellers on sight. Discipline is harsh for any Arakkoa who conflicts with the sages ruling the capital of Skyreach. Those found guilty of breaking the law, dabbling in shadow magic, or worshipping gods other than Rukmar are hurled from the spires into the cursed pools of Setek Hollow, where their wings shrivel and their bodies contort, no longer able to fly and forever cut off from their sun god. These outcasts have formed their own communities in the shadows of the spires, particularly in the refuge city of Sketis. The outcasts are a tight-knit group and deeply distrustful, but they share common enemies with adventurers from Azeroth, and it may be possible to forge a relationship with them if one knows who to speak with. Arakkoa Fate. Most Arakkoa worship the god Rukmar and relatedly Tarok. The Setek worship Talon King Ikis, who thinks himself Tarok returned instead of Rukmar. However, the small tribe of Sketis exiles worship the light. Time Lost Figurine. Players can use a trinket obtained off of Tarok, called the Time Lost Figurine, to turn their player character into an Arakkoa for 5 minutes. While in this form, going into combat does not change the player back, making this a fun and near must-have for many players. The difficulty, length and rareness of obtaining the item, however, make it so players with it are scarce. Inspiration behind the Arakkoa. There are several possible inspirations for their design. The Skeksis, an evil race of birdmen who feature in Jim Henson's 1982 fantasy movie, The Dark Crystal. There is even a Darkstone Enveiled skit on the western edge of the Bone Wastes. The Arakkoa in Dungeons of Dragons were likely also an influence on Blizzard's designers. There is also the possibility that the name is inspired by the Arakkoa from the Disney movie The Three Caballeros. Though not proven, the Arakkoa may also be inspired by the bird-like Chozo of the Metroid video game series. This theory can be backed by the extinct Apexis civilization and the relics they left behind. They also bear a strong resemblance to the Shrikes of the Edge Chronicles, both in appearance and architecture. The Amarantan from Alastair Reynolds' science fiction novel Revelation Space, a race of avian humanoids that bear strong resemblance to the Arakkoa in both appearance and history. Okay, I did skip over some of the more boring parts of the lore there, but you got most of that. You got most of the good stuff. There was some of it that I was stumbling over and just couldn't be arsed to do, but the majority of it, I say 90% of the lore is in here. And once again, I am sorry for the big gap where my computer was missing, but it is now a beauty of a computer, and it should do the trick nicely and be able to keep up grand, I hope. So as always, remember, play to game and game to play.